Hi, I wanted to talk a little bit about trusting God versus trusting the world. If you're anything like me, it's kind of easier to trust in the things in this world, whether it's friends, family, doctors. Um, we tend to look to things here in this world and depend on those things, whether it's for our health or if we're lonely or scared or anything like that. We tend to go to those we can see, which seems like a pretty natural thing to do. And I think God gives us people like that so that we can have relationships, and that's important. But ultimately, we really need to learn to go to God. I know people that as soon as there's an issue, they have to be on the phone instantly talking to a friend or somebody else instead of going to God. And I've done that plenty of times myself. And even when it comes to health issues, I mean, I've spent years and years of my life going to the world, going to all kinds of alternative um, modalities of healing, different plans, always looking for the right plan, the right protocol, the right supplements, the right doctor, um, you name it, just always trusting in this world that I'm gonna somehow, someday, some way um, figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out myself, or I'm gonna find somebody that has the answers. And I've spent hours, days, weeks, months, and years doing that, really to no avail. Um, the answers that we get from the world might be helpful to a point, and God does give us wisdom and give people wisdom and understanding, and there's definitely help to be found in the world. But I think it's so important not to put that first above God. We need to go to God first and ask Him for wisdom. There's a scripture that I really like, and I wanted to share it with you. It's Isaiah 31, and when he's referring to the world, in here in the Bible, he's referring to the world as Egypt, because back in this time period, Egypt was the place that was really hustle bustle, and they had everything. They were wealthy, and they had all the strong horses and the chariots and the kings and the um, you know medicine and whatever. So it's referred, the world is referred to as Egypt in here. But I'm just going to read it. It's Isaiah 31, and it says, "What sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trusting their horses, chariots, and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies instead of looking to the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. In his wisdom the Lord will send great disaster. He will not change his mind. He will rise against the wicked and against their helpers, for these Egyptians are mere humans, not God. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. When the Lord raises his fist against them, those who help will stumble, and those being helped will fall. They will fall down and die together." And God has brought that scripture to my attention many, many times, because he's convicted me over the years that I often have gone to the world to try to find health and healing and the peace that I need, and it's only God that can give that. We can get, like I said before, we can get some information and some peace and maybe a little bit of peace of mind from the world, but we'll never get what we're longing for until we go to God. We have to find peace in Him. We have to find our love really in Him. Not that He doesn't bring people into our lives to love us and care for us, but ultimately it's not a husband or a child or a wife or a friend that's going to really meet the needs of our hearts. It's going to be God. He does give us people, obviously, to care for us and love us, and that's really, really important. Relationships are really important. But ultimately, it's God. It's God who who will meet all of our needs because He created us. He knows us individually. He knows exactly who we are, what makes us tick. He knows the things we've been through in our lives. He knows the things that we struggle with. He knows our weaknesses and our strengths, and He knows what's best for us. And there's nobody else that knows us that way. We don't even know ourselves that way. And so we need to really get in the habit of going to God first and learning to trust Him with absolutely everything in our lives. Going to Him first and really learning to trust Him and to receive from Him. So, just something I wanted to share this morning. Have a good day. Bye.